Hello everybody, this is Chaos with Thunderdog eSports, bringing you game number 5 of this 5-game series here at the Top Dog League. We have had a wonderful set of games going from Prometheus Gaming and ViViD Gaming. They're all tied up, and let's see who will get the better of the league points today. So, let's go ahead and introduce our players, spawning in the southern portion here on Polar Night Ladder Edition. In the red trunks, it is going to be ViViD Gaming's JazZ. And spawning in the northern portion, in the blue trunks for Prometheus Gaming, it is going to be WanaBeSweet. So, we've got a PVZ here on Polar Night Ladder Edition. Probably actually one of my favorite maps. It's actually kind of a remake of an old Brood War map from what I've been told. And it's actually kind of interesting. Not exactly the most blinkiest map, as I would call it. You've got, you know, pretty decent sides here and here, but the biggest problem with blink on this map is probably going into the main and getting out of the main. As you guys can probably tell, I play a lot of blink play, don't I? Anyways, so we will have to see how things are going. Now, it does look like JazZ is going to be going for the ever-so-popular Forge Fast Expand, which is actually probably not my favorite build, in my opinion. I tend to go with a Gateway Expand on this type of, for this matchup, just simply because I like the flexibility that it has in the early game as far as the ability to be aggressive. I love doing a 4-gate +1 timing. That can be very devastating if your opponent doesn't see it coming. So, and actually, it does look like we are. Oh, Forge has already been planted down, so we are not seeing an Nexus first, and we do have a pylon block. So, JazZ is saying, you know what? I don't like it when Zerg players get their natural expansion up too terribly. Ooh, losing the probe, which is kind of a little bit of a bummer. And he is going to go ahead and let the pylon finish. So, a little bit of an issue for him. Now, the spawning pool is already finished for WanaBeSweet, so he will be able to clean up that pylon and get his natural expansion going pretty quickly. And actually, my guess is he's probably going to go ahead and do the classic 3 expand after seeing the pylon block. He'll just wait for the Zerglings to get up, take down the pylon, and then go ahead and throw down his 3rd base, and then he will be super production. So, first cannon going down for JazZ, so he is going to start his wall-off. Typically, I would say typically you see the gateway going down first, but he wants to play a little bit more cautious and get out his cannon just that much earlier to deny any type of Zergling run-bys or things like that. So pylon will get taken down at the natural, and it will be followed by a drone and a queen, which is walking very slowly off creep. And meanwhile, we do have JazZ going for the double gas, which is pretty typical follow-up. Obviously, you want to give yourself the ability to get your tech up as you're slowly getting your economy rolling. And yes, I love this music. By far, best music ever, the Terran music. So yeah, so we do have 3 bases coming out of WanaBeSweet, which I'd say is a pretty typical build. Now, my guess is I'll be curious to see when we have the gases go down. Now, obviously, we are not going to have any speed, so he's not really going to focus on a speed lean opening, but he's going to be focusing on getting out his minerals and getting his drone count sky high really, really quickly. So, going to be transferring down some probes down to his, what I'm going to call his 3rd base, even though it was technically his natural. But yeah, so Overlord's getting a pretty good scout. He's probably going to got everything set up in position to do that. Go in and see what's going on. Overlord move as the Overlord moves into position. So he's going to go in to pretty much see the Cybernetics core finishing up, and with that he will actually be safe for a good period of time, since the first Stalker will not be out for, I believe Stalkers take, let's see, 42 seconds. So yeah, so he's got a fair amount of time. He goes in, sees what he needs to see. Now, he doesn't get, I'm surprised he didn't actually get the 2nd gas scout. This 2nd Overlord is actually going to come in here and try to see if there's any tech surrounding the natural, but overall isn't really going to see much. So, yeah. So basically, WanaBeSweet just is happily droning, and my guess is probably around the 7:30 mark is when we're going to be seeing those gases go down and him start to think about teching up to lair. Now, Stalker is going to pick at this Overlord, and the other Overlord pretty much is out of the picture. Or no, it is not out of the picture. It is going down, and we'll scout the first gateway. Well, I guess the second gateway going down. So we do have 7-minute 2 gas at the third base, and 2 gas going down once again, probably around the 7:10. So about the same time. So yeah, so he's going for 4 gas. So going to try and get up as much gas as possible to get his lair going very, very quickly. And is probably going to start to think about his tech options. Now, as I say that, Roachborn, his has already been planted down, so it does look like he's going to be focusing on, 24 lings. Interesting. My guess is this is mainly a function of he kind of feels like a push is coming. Stargate play. Interesting. So yeah, so he's got to be feeling, he knows that some pressure is coming, as speed is about halfway done, so he definitely knows he needs to be wary of what's going on. But I really don't think there's going to be enough units here. You know, JazZ goes in there, sees kind of all the lings and says, you know what, I'm not going to risk it. Just going to go back home, feel comfortable, and maybe watch some TV or whatever them Protoss people do when they go home. Meanwhile, he's going to go ahead and send the Phoenix in to get a decent scout. He will see the roaches, so he does have a good idea of what his opponent is doing, and probably is thinking, wow, he's probably going for a Roach Hydra type composition, which means we need to start focusing on getting out some different tech, because that is what we do when there's Roach Hydra. So we do have a robotics facility already down, lots of lings coming across the field and actually catching a lot of these units out of position, and all of these units are going to fall. That is going to put WanaBeSweet in a very, very good position to continue on being aggressive, denying this third base, as both of those are canceled. And now he is going to be in a very good position to go ahead and be aggressive. Now, this is kind of one of the biggest problems with going for a Stargate play, simply because if your opponent does go for a very big early push, then you're going to be lacking some units. Wow, a very preemptive Photon Overcharge go down, a little bit wasteful. And at this point, yeah, JazZ just needs to focus on getting out units as quickly as possible, and we do have him going ahead and getting out a Void Ray because he knows, heck, I need something that cannot die to whatever he's got right now. So, Void Ray it is. So, we do have lots of tech going down. We do have the Twilight Council now started, and no upgrades just yet. We don't have forges being planted down yet, which is more gateways, because he knows, yes, I need to get some production. And actually our Zerg friend over here is actually going to go ahead and get his 4th, and is actually also looking to take his 5th base, so he's going to be doing very, very fine as far as the economy is concerned. Macro Hatch going down, he is just pulling out all the stops, getting up his upgrades. I'm surprised we don't have a double Evo chamber. You know, with this much economy, you know, you kind of want to feel like, okay, maybe I should, you know, stretch myself a little. So yeah, so +1 armor is just now being done, so his first forge that I didn't mention earlier, or I did mention earlier, I just failed to realize that he still had a forge, is getting his +1 armor, which is probably the best option that he's got once his units stay out a little bit longer than normal. And it looks like this third base is going to get denied once again by all of these lings coming in, and his army unit is just completely out of position. That base will get canceled, and the pylon will actually stay. So he might try and replant that down now that his army is in position to go ahead and check that out. Now, a little bit of mix-up. Now, as far as vision goes, he does already know that the 4th base is going down. The one thing he doesn't know about is that the rocks already for the 5th base have already gone down. So, you know, his opponent... Ooh, all the army is bypassing... Oh, wow. Lings are going to get into here to the natural and just absolutely ravage as probes are dying left and right, and several of them are not able to get out. And yeah, this was a nice little ling run by that JazZ really didn't need, and a lot of these units are getting caught out of position. The Hydra's doing significant amount of damage, and it looks like the army of JazZ is dwindling slowly but surely, as we do have Hydras coming in here doing a significant amount of damage. Does need to be very careful with this Colossus out on the field, but with a little bit of micro, the Zealots are going to get pecked down very, very rapidly. And another Photon Overcharge is going to be used to deny the rest of the lings from doing any damage. So a nice little counter run by WanaBeSweet, and yeah, the supply deficit is significant at this point. About a 60 supply deficit, or no. Yeah, well, more like an 80 supply deficit. Anyways, yeah, so JazZ definitely needs to step up his game and get some more units out ASAP, because that is where things are going. Now, we do have Vipers coming out on the way, which will be very, very nice to pick out those Colossus and deal the damage that he needs to, especially since the Colossus are the big damage dealers against this unit this main unit composition that WanaBeSweet is going for. Now, it does look like he's going to go ahead and check on the third, make sure there's nothing there, and it does look like we might have an engagement here very shortly. WanaBeSweet says, I'm not quite ready yet. I want those Vipers to get in my composition, and that is what I'm going to do. And we have an almost max Zerg player. Bangling Nest? Interesting. No, Spinecrawler. There. That's what we were looking for. So, yeah, at this point, WanaBeSweet is just focusing on getting out his units and getting his bases safely secured with spine crawlers and going ahead and getting his 5th base. So yeah, so he's in a very, very good position. So once this mineral patches start to die down, he'll go ahead and transfer those drones back to his 5th base where there's currently nothing mining, and will be more or less on the same economy that he was, or that he has been since like the 5-6 minute mark. Ooh, Colossus getting caught out of position, and that will be going down very, very quickly. So yeah, so JazZ needs to make the decision. It looks like we might have a base trade going here. Okay, maybe not. WanaBeSweet wants to back off and deal with this army. Now, there is a recall here, I believe, from this mothership core, so assuming everything goes well... Ooh, it looks like WanaBeSweet is going to go ahead and pick off those Colossus very, very quickly. Same with the Void Ray, and it looks like the rest of the army of JazZ is going to absolutely be demolished with the Time Warp going down, and JazZ is going to be calling GG, giving Prometheus Gaming this series 3-2-2. So, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next game that I cast. Hey everybody, I hope you guys enjoyed this 5-game series here with Prometheus Gaming and ViViD Gaming duking it out here in the Top Dog League. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys stumbled upon this video just so happily and haven't seen the rest of the games, I will go ahead and put the first game here in the center of the screen. If you enjoyed the casting, feel free to go ahead and hit that subscriber button down in the lower left-hand corner, or just click on the logo there to the left or right of left of the video. Gotta think about perception here. Also, if you enjoyed, feel free to go ahead and click that like button and hit share with your friends on Facebook and Twitter. It's greatly appreciated for here at Thunderdog eSports. Also, if you enjoyed my casting and would like to check out some of my content, please click on the logo on the screen that is the Chaos Esports production logo to check out some of my content on my YouTube channel. So, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next game that I cast here for the Top Dogs League.